So today we have the wives, another wives episode.
Let's go.
Brielle and Stephanie.
Where do I wave?
In different seating arrangements this time.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. People are going to be like, what is that guy doing way over in the corner?
And we had just had a huge argument about who was going to sit where and what chairs were going to get used. Brielle flipped out over not having handles, armrests.
You know me.
We have no agenda. We can talk about whatever we want. Stephanie actually had some ideas, so you could go ahead and take the lead here.
All right. Well, I feel like it's very nice to have a sister-in-law that's in a similar season. I feel like I go to Brielle for a lot of advice and we just talk about being moms and wives. And anyway, so my oldest is 2.5, and recently she was sick. And so the week that she was sick, I pretty much let her watch TV all day on the couch. Just lay, watch TV. She had a fever, vomiting, not fun.
Oh my goodness.
But I obviously, once she was better, started to notice some not great qualities coming from so much screen time. So epic meltdowns, just only wanting to watch TV. I felt like she was forgetting how to play. Mm-hmm. And so just this past week, I've implemented very limited screen time. And so I think for the past, 4 days, she's been maybe watching a movie for like 20 minutes a day. And I'm definitely seeing some good results so far. Obviously, she's 2.5. She's still having meltdowns and things like that. But I am noticing that the meltdowns that she's having are far less. Or far less and also shorter. And yeah, just so many benefits. She's playing all day long, and I see her free playing. And it's just refreshing to not have so much stimulus in the house.
Yep.
Is that something you guys struggle with?
Yeah. First of all, when you say you've been getting a lot of advice from Brielle, you're welcome, because she gets all her advice from me.
Oh my goodness.
He's like, no, but
I just want to make that real clear right off the bat.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, we went through that with our firstborn. With Levi, we had if you could let them watch too much TV, that's all they want.
Yep.
And it happens fast. Right? I remember that.
Really fast. I feel like you can be super intentional about it for a month. And then for 2 days, you let it slide. And then they're like, oh, this is what we're doing now? Okay, great.
Yeah, to the point where if he asked to watch something and we said, no, not right now,
meltdown.
Yeah, they'd be in tears. Mm. Not always a meltdown. Levi was always a more appeal to the emotions. Mm. He would well up all cute and make you feel guilty. Versus the tantrum where you're like, I don't feel sorry for you at all. You're just annoying.
Just please
annoying me
stop.
now. Yeah, he would take it real hard.
Aww.
And
so
okay,
cute.
you can watch anything you want.
Yep.
No, yeah, I remember that.
I think people struggle with that. It's so easy to just turn it on and let them be occupied.
Yeah, and it's
go do whatever you have to get done.
Snowball,
Yeah, it's so easy.
Right.
Even before, when you guys were doing your podcasts, Sienna woke up from a nap, and sometimes she wakes up so grumpy, and it's frustrating because it's normally when Brock and Nick are doing a podcast, and her bedroom is
Shout out,
right there. So she's literally rolling around in her crib. She doesn't want me to come get her, and typically I would be like, "Do you want to watch a show?" And that would entice her to not have a meltdown. Come out, I'll put on a show for her, and she'll be happy. But I was like, "Sorry, Nick and Brock. I'm not going to put on a show for her." And so she just rolled around in her crib for probably 20 minutes.
Yeah. I think that was Christian's episode, now that I'm thinking back on it.
But I feel like parenting can't
Go look
stop
for it.
because of the podcast. So I was like, she's going to have to, I'm not going to reward her for the meltdown. And anyway, it didn't take that long. It might have seemed long to you guys, but typically it would go on for a very long time. And it was maybe 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. So it's
great.
Better than.
Yeah, I don't remember anything. So no worries on my end. I have zero memory of anything.
That's because we hit you over the head every time you leave.
I black out whenever I show up here.
And we don't remember anything.
Wait, so Sienna still sleeps in a crib?
Mm-hmm. She does,
okay.
Yep.
Nice,
yep.
nice.
I'm keeping her in there as long as I possibly can.
We
she
actually,
hasn't tried to climb out.
I'm not. That's not a judgmental question. It's a terrible at baby milestones question. So when do you typically move them? She still sleeps in a crib. Yeah. When would you move typically to a toddler bed? When do we move to a toddler bed?
Whenever we had another baby.
That's right.
That's what I think our
Yeah,
metric
that's what I
is.
think most people do.
Yeah, like as soon as Giada's grown out of the little tiny crib.
Yeah.
Does she have a smaller crib?
Yeah,
Sienna?
I got her a portable crib because I was like, I'm not gonna try to move Sienna into a bed.
Well, she was
with a
younger too
newborn.
than what our babies
Yeah,
were.
she wasn't even 2 yet, and I was like, I don't want that many changes. So I have like a little foldable, portable crib for Gigi, and it's nice.
Cribs are nice. I always feel like we have to move one of the kids out of the crib. I'm like, no, they're not contained anymore.
Yeah.
Like
They're
now
out
they
of
can
the
just get
cage.
up and create chaos and wreak havoc if they want to in the morning or something. Like, yeah, cribs are super nice.
Yep.
I know. Do you remember the first time Isla realized that she could like get off her toddler bed and come down on her own? And she like came into our room
Yeah.
and she was like, "Hi."
Oh yeah, I'm awake.
Like, I can get out of my toddler bed. This is the coolest thing ever. And we were like, oh, no.
Cute.
I'm awake.
I'm awake. Yeah.
Yeah, Sienna's just scary. We let her sleep outside of her crib one night. She has like a little pull-out couch thing.
Another bad habit.
And we let her sleep out there because I thought she was transitioning out of the crib. And at like 2 a.m, she was like
We bought the
standing at her
rails
door,
for the
and we're
new
like,
crib.
"This is so weird." Go back in your room.
Oh, okay. Great story. Here's a fun story. Was she sick at the time when we were going through all that, or she was just kind of?
No, she was just like not wanting to nap and
Yeah.
like protesting bedtime. And I was like, maybe it's time for her to be in
Okay.
a bed. Like, I don't know.
Meanwhile, Giada's up like every 2 hours feeding or whatever it was at the time, and so we had been like real loose again with Cece, that's a problem
Yeah.
because it creates bad habits and we paid for it later. But the one night Stephanie went out to get Gigi, came back out. Gigi, that's our youngest, came back into my room and Sienna started to cry. So you went out in the pitch dark. Sienna was laying on the floor for whatever reason that was going on
Where?
in her room.
Okay.
On the
so-
pull-out couch.
And so
I
literally,
forgot about this.
I'm trying to sleep, and all of a sudden I hear like Sienna crying super loud. I'm like, Stephanie's with her. What is going on? And then all of a sudden Stephanie was like, Brock.
Oh my gosh.
We're talking like 3 a.m, right?
Emergency management much? Ugh. Why do you guys just scream like somebody just got murdered?
Oh yeah. So I come flying out, and I'm like, because it's very dark, I can barely see anything. I can barely see Stephanie right here.
Right. And you guys don't
Yeah, it's
have
so
the
The
electric
doors
lights in
creaked
your
open to
home.
Sienna's room, right? So we're like about to game plan how to make entry. And so she's like, I don't know where Sienna is.
I'm literally
I kid you not. I kid you not. Sienna was right next to her, right under her arm. It was the creepiest thing I'd get. She was like,
she was in. That's not what happened. She had walked out of the room into the hallway, and I knew that she walked out of the room, but I couldn't find her because it was so dark.
yes, but by the time I came out, you were at the doorway.
She was standing like right there, and I'm like,
Yeah, you're standing right next to you.
yeah, with Cece's
That's
little
how it was.
blonde hair.
Poor little honey.
But-
Anyways, back to the real conversation. We're very much learning that we have to be diligent with those.
Tiny little decisions.
Yeah, with just consistency.
Yeah, she has such a
and
like
day difference.
strong personality, which we love. But because it's so strong, like if we let her watch too much TV, the only thing that comes out of her mouth is show. And I'm like, no, we're doing this right now. So yeah, it's just being more diligent on parenting her properly, and
It's night and day.
yeah.
That's amazing
It's
to be able to
even
see
the
the
last
difference
3 days,
so clearly.
we've been a little bit more consistent with not giving her screen time, and like she's praying with me again at night, and she's singing with me to go to bed, and she's happier throughout the day. Like she'll have problems here and there, but like noticeably, markedly different.
Yeah, napping better, going to sleep better.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
Turns out.
Wow.
But like even today, normally if she's watching TV, we'll turn the TV off and I'll have to kind of play with her. And just today I was cleaning in the kitchen, not all the time, but sometimes. But today I was cleaning in the kitchen and I was like, where's Sienna? And she was just running up and down the hallway free playing. And I was like, this is incredible.
Yeah, it's so good
like
for them.
So anyway,
So the question
yeah.
for you, in an age of technology, how do you, what's a healthy relationship look like? Is there one, or should you just refrain as much as you can?
I mean, I would throw the baby out with the bathwater. I'm like, get rid of all the screens. I'm very far that way, right?
Yep, you're like, you treat screen time like I treat food or dieting. It's like all or nothing. Yeah. Very
But never
'cause you're
all,
not like,
though.
You're not like that with anything.
This is only nothing.
You can't go nothing with food. Doesn't eventually. God gets it up to you.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of TV time for the kids at all, and we don't have tablets or anything like that yet.
We haven't. Yeah, we do have a tablet, and the
We
kids
have
have.
Is
Levi
it a tablet?
has started. Yeah,
Are they
Levi,
all
it's
tablets?
an iPad.
Okay,
Levi
it's an
has
iPad.
started.
We have one. We have an iPad.
Levi has started playing chess on it, but no, we haven't raised tablet children. No, yeah, just don't lie.
Don't say it like that.
Wait, what do they call them?
We
What do
haven't
they call
raised
them?
iPad
kids?
children.
Wait,
Yeah, like we haven't. Our
that a
kids
thing?
Our kids
Oh,
have
it's a thing.
never had like iPads in their
never heard
hands, like
that.
watching anything like that. But
Anyway.
they have watched a lot of TV. Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Yes,
not to say we're perfect,
we do.
but
We definitely have movie nights.
Like ideally gone.
But I forget that it could be a source of entertainment for them. Like sometimes it would probably be convenient if I was like, oh, I really need to do this. I could put something on for them and they would like enjoy sitting and watching. And I kind of forget that and make my life a little harder sometimes. But
I think they
it's
can
not been a
learn from
habit
TV,
that
so.
I've done.
I think TV can be educational, but that's just me.
Oh, that's true. Yep. If they do watch something on my watch, I put on Spanish audio. So it's like a show they know, but it's
and they're like,
Spanish.
what is this nonsense?
Yeah.
They love it, except for now. Well, two things, because Levi is 7. So he recognizes, oh, I don't understand this as well as I understand English. Whereas Rocky, he'll just watch. He's like just happy to watch still. Isla too. But the other thing, so he might ask, like, can we do it in English? But the other thing is Levi has been asking me, can I watch something? And if I hesitate, like, he goes, in Spanish. I love that.
Spanish. Just to get the yes.
Yes, and then I'm like,
Spanish is Brielle's weak spot, and
Okay.
they know it. Like
It's
that
true.
is the chink in your armor. You will literally let them trick you. Like it is the
allow
chink in your
myself to be
armor.
manipulated.
Like you could be like you could be easily manipulated when you hear the word Spanish. You're like, oh yeah, they're right. It will be good for them. Like you hear Spanish and it like changes your brain chemistry. It's ridiculous.
Instantly.
Like you are easily fooled on the Spanish front. And yeah, I personally think that TV can be good for their like emotional development too. Like I think that some of the shows teach them how to like feel sorry and empathy and sympathy and joy and how to handle emotions. And I think it might sound corny, but I do think that it can help them because they're seeing with their eyes what it looks like to do those things. And I don't know. I've always thought that, but that's just my opinion. I don't think it's the first form of education. I think probably we are the first example of that, but I think TV can be helpful. Very, very few shows that are like that. I don't think that TV makers have like that stuff in mind, but like there are a few TV shows that we let our kids watch that I think are good for that kind of development.
Yeah, so like vetting what they're watching and making sure it's wholesome or educational and then also
Good
like
attitudes.
how much time. You know?
Yeah, like the past 3-4 days since I've been implementing very limited screen time, the only time I've been letting her watch TV is in the morning when I put Giada down for a nap because it takes me between like 10 to 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. And so that's when I'll let her watch a show. And I've been very, like typically I'd put on Disney Plus or I'd put on like even Curious George or Clifford
Clutch.
or
Curious George.
Caillou or something like that, which is fine, but it's...
Caillou.
Uh-oh.
Put a tab on that one. We'll come back to it.
Uh-oh. Say less.
But now I've been even doing less of even all those things, which I feel like some of those shows are pretty like non-stimulating. But now I've been focusing more on like putting on VeggieTales for her. something that I know like has good morals and that she's going to be learning something. And also something that I see a difference in is if I turned off the TV prior to doing this, she would have a meltdown.
Right, like, when it gets turned off.
Doesn't want it to be over. But now I turn off the TV and she like jumps off the couch and she like goes. And I'm like, this is amazing. Like kids learn so quickly and adapt so quickly.
Yeah, so maybe instead of making blanket, like get rid of all of it. Because you can see that on the internet sometimes. They're like, how much screen time? And the lady's like, 0, never.
Exactly.
That's and like, that's nice. But like practically speaking, yes, you can do that for sure. But like if there's some benefit to it, like Nick was outlining, maybe there is a little bit. Hard to know.
And 10 to 20 minutes, I feel like is pretty fair.
I don't think it's a reason to make it. I don't think that the emotional development that I think they do get out of it is a reason why you should let your kids watch TV. I just think it's a positive. If your kid watches TV, it's good. I don't think it's why you should let your kids watch TV though. They can do it. They can do without it.
Right. If you're using it as a babysitter, not good. We'll watch TV if, when Brielle goes somewhere in the evening, like Brielle has evening engagements and we'll watch an hour of TV before bed. It's like a treat. And it gets to the point sometimes where like, as soon as Brielle closes the door, one of the kids is like, TV, Dad? Like, yeah. I mean, it doesn't take long.
No,
how do they know?
They're literally like, do you have Mom's Club tonight? And I was like, yeah. And Levi's like, yes, that means we get to watch TV.
Which I think is adorable. Like, I love that.
And I hope that it's a great memory for them.
And usually we'll start it around 6 or 6:30, and then we'll watch a half an hour to an hour before bed. And which it used to be, I had to dial that back because there would be, we
would have issues with bedtime
before. No, not usually. We had to get there though. Yeah, it was a process. Like there was a time where it would be more than an hour of TV, and I was like, all right, I can't have them watching 3 hours of TV in the evening. So like we would specifically do it around 6 or 6:30 for an hour before bedtime. And once we did that on a more routine basis, like they learned to adjust their attitude and be more grateful, and they would say thank you when we turned it off, and then they go up to bed without crying. And but that took a while to get there.
Yeah,
it took a while to get there.
Perhaps that's what it is with Cece too. She's just a little bit more grateful to be able to watch it now, versus where it was a lot more often. It was just kind of expected as like she was owed that, entitled to being able to watch it however long she wanted. And it's hard to draw a line for where you have to be more assertive and draw some lines and say no, because when you say no, it's more work.
Right.
Yeah, it's laziness sometimes on my end.
Yeah, when you say no, it's like, okay, if she throws a fit, this is a 20-minute thing, a 30-minute thing.
Versus and I have to say no the next time.
Yeah. And then you have it versus a 10-second click, and now she's quiet and she's happy. I can get my chores done. I can do whatever. It's like most things that are hard to do in the long run are going to give you the results you wouldn't believe you could have gotten otherwise, instead of just doing the easy thing and getting instantaneous results for their own pleasure. It's like you're building character versus appeasing desire.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have a bit of a interesting thought on that.
It's definitely easier said, though.
Ew. I see what you did there.
Okay.
Thanks.
So I've thought about this, and I think that, so you know how like our society is full of like dopamine hits and triggers and whatnot?
Like my cold plunge?
Like smartphones?
Yeah.
Again, a screen.
Like
Cold plunge is an interesting one because you don't really get that until you're done. You never want to do it. Whereas like hopping on Facebook, you always feel compelled to do it. You know what I mean? Like that kind of dopamine hit. I think that I theorize that there is a chemical release in parents who have become used to turning the TV on and watching their kid relax, and then they therefore also relax, and like they get addicted to that.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Have you ever felt that?
Oh yeah.
Like when you turn the TV on for your kid and they sit down and they shut up, and then you're like,
quiet, peace.
Yeah.
Because
Yep, because you instantly feel like, whew, the house is relaxed. I can do whatever I want. Like you act like
Definitely.
It feels chemical when it happens.
Yep. And the difference with doing something hard and getting that dopamine hit, you're saying is different. So like if you're doing something like cold plunge, it's difficult to do.
Yeah, it's
the dopamine hit from that is different.
Yeah, because you're
not doing it for the
addiction.
dopamine.
It's not an addiction.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's the best way to put it. But
okay,
right,
yeah, it's easy to turn the TV on in front of your kids because you remember what it feels like when there's
definitely
instant relaxation.
Yeah, there's a part.
And
to
that's
that,
like,
sure.
I feel like that's what a chemical release feels like. Like when you reload your Facebook page or something, it's like, oh, new stuff to look at. It feels the same. That like feeling of, it's like a dopamine thing.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah, I
Wow.
definitely.
Parents gotta watch out for that.
I definitely, can relate to that because just a few weeks ago, and specifically when Sienna was sick, Giada had been sick before that. I just wasn't at a capacity to like feel like I could entertain the girls all day long. And Giada is 11 months, and she's definitely in a very clingy season right now, and so she wants to be held a lot. And she wasn't sleeping well at night, and so I was just so exhausted. And so just turning on the TV, I knew like, okay, Sienna will sit and watch a show, and I can attend to Giada and get some stuff done. But yeah, then I started to see the negative effects of that, obviously, with the meltdowns all day, Sienna only wanting to watch TV. And so I would, if parents are listening, I would encourage you to just take a few days to try limited screen times, because the past few days have felt so relaxing not having the stimulus on.
How
And
funny
like,
is that?
Yeah, it's
'Cause,
been
like-
so like I feel like I can take a breath of fresh air. And like even Sienna, the first couple days, again, like I felt like I had to entertain her a little bit, but I had her, she's very much a helper. And so she was helping me do all the things that I needed to get done, helping me fold the laundry, helping me do the dishes. And yeah, it ended up just being such a great thing because we were doing it together, and it might have been slowing me down a little bit, but she was just having so much fun with me. And then again, I feel like it encouraged independence because in, just a matter of a day, she was then going and like, if I got the vacuum out, she was going and getting her little play vacuum and vacuuming the floors.
Oh,
and
so cute.
like, yeah, I just can see so much learning going on, and she wants to be independent and learning how to be independent. And so,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
But also, like, I've noticed, like, I would have expected it to be harder because you feel like you don't get a break or whatever reason, but I don't feel like that's been the case. Like, I feel like you're a little bit even more energized when they're awake and with you because it's more interactive, maybe. Maybe it's just because you're not, like, shutting off. Like,
And I feel like because it's more intentional, like I know what's going on with them is good and not just something to keep them entertained. Like they're learning, they're happy. I feel like I'm being a good mom.
Air
yeah,
quotes.
it's like the reverse dopamine hit. You definitely get dopamine hits from that, too. Like, that feeling of euphoria from doing something that's actually
right,
purposeful.
that you know is good.
Yeah, that you know is good.
Yeah. Okay. So if you can get that from limited screen time, why have it at all? Like, why do they need to still have it? Why not just like actually get rid of it?
You mean like the 10 to 20 minutes I did with Sienna today?
Yeah. Or just, yeah. I'm asking.
They don't need cookies and brownies and ice cream. Why do
Right.
we give it to them anyway?
We shouldn't be.
You're such a purist.
I agree.
No, you don't.
No.
I know that's not true.
Yeah.
As she's like making a batch of cookies.
Are the brownies cooking right now?
Okay. So just for a treat, like just to
Yeah,
have
like,
something that's just
It's just
fun.
like any other
Yeah.
non-important privilege or treat.
But they can get that in other ways. Like they can get that from playing a game or
What about Christmas
reading
movies?
a book.
No.
Or Christmas movies are those are good.
yeah, I mean, playing a game is no
Okay,
different.
I am such a hypocrite.
Don't
Don't listen
are,
to anything I say. Oh,
I'm going to push back on that a bit, babe. I don't think that playing a game or, what did you say?
reading
Reading.
books.
Those are like sending them outside to play. Those are genuinely good for their development. Whereas, more than TV. Whereas
Okay,
TV
okay.
is like
So
eating brownies and eating.
Okay.
That's like saying, well, they could,
All right.
well, that's like saying,
is like the
don't
junk
give them
food of
brownies and
life.
ice cream, and then you would say like,
The junk food of entertainment.
well, we give them
TV.
Well, they could have carrots and apples. Well, it's like, yeah, those are good for them. It's not a direct correlation. Like games and
All right.
coloring or reading is
I guess
just as good as going outside to play.
Yeah.
yeah, I guess it's more of a treat. Like even last night, was it last night?
You just got
or
owned
night
on the
before?
podcast.
so embarrassed. I'm just kidding.
She's never coming back again.
Not as
It'll be a
embarrassed
long
as
car
Brock
ride
and
home.
Stephanie are me when we call them out for letting their kids watch Caillou.
Oh, yeah. Let's hear it. Wait, what were you going to say?
Last night or the night before, because Brock loves Christmas movies.
Yep.
And so he was like, can I put on Frosty for Sienna? And I was like, no screen time. And he was like, but it's Christmas
And then I
season.
threw a tantrum.
When they hold, yeah, I do too. When
I
they
know
hold
she's
the
limiting
line,
your screen time.
there's no exceptions. Oh, that bugs me. That is like you and I. Like you're like, okay, Nick, we're gonna have no screen time for 3 months. And like after a month, I'm like, hey, like let's watch Frosty the
After a
Snowman.
month?
And you're like, let's like,
Okay, whoa.
And you're like, no screen time. I'm like, well, it's not the same. It's like, or like family movie night. You're like, no screen time. We have no screen Saturdays. But like we had to kind of agree that like in the evening, if we wanted to have a movie night, that we would do that because it's like it's Saturday. It's the one of the only 2 days that is a good night for a movie night. But like without me bringing that up, I thought one of the kids came down the stairs. Without me bringing that up, you'd be like, nope, we're never watching a movie ever again. Like I have to say, hey, movie night tonight, and you're like, no, we're never watching movies on Saturdays ever again unless there was some kind of compromise.
Okay, well,
You guys like you
first of all, 1 month
You
is
hold
a
the
little
line.
generous on your end. So I would say it's more like 2 days in.
Yeah, because
But-
in my mind, no screens didn't rule out family movie nights, but that's just the way that I think. That's just the way that I
No
think.
screens.
Just
Just
like
no
Brock with
screens.
Frosty.
Yeah, no movies doesn't mean we can't watch Frosty.
I am definitely
We're not so
more black and
disciplined.
white.
Yeah, you're very black and white.
No screens
In that way.
actually means no screens, and Nick's no screens means no screens that he doesn't want to do.
It's a definitional problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
For sure.
I'm not saying that I'm not the one that's bending the rules here. I just anyway. Okay, so Caillou.
Yeah,
I actually have no experience. I just
then
every
shut your mouth.
every
You
top
know what the
5
definition of ignorance is?
every top 5 don't let your kids watch this show list we've ever seen. Caillou's like number 1 or 2.
Really?
Wait, why?
I wonder
It's
what
bad?
reason.
It's because he's
You speak
whiny
for
or something.
yourself.
I don't know.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, I don't know about this.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Oh, who's saying that? All this
I think
snooty Christians?
I think
Is that
you're.
it?
I think you're remembering
No.
different.
Wait, what?
You're about to
Where's
get home
Bluey?
for the second time.
I thought
Where's
Caillou was
Bluey?
Bluey's
like
one of the really good ones.
Okay.
Bluey's on the top
I
5
love
list.
Bluey.
I know she
Bluey's
won't
on the
watch
top 5
Bluey.
list of like let your
you.
kids watch.
She
Okay,
hasn't-
great.
Wait,
So,
hold
hold
on.
on.
Wait. Caillou is like Curious George.
So
But he's a kid and not
it's
a
possible
monkey.
that the newer Caillou is better, but the older Caillou, one of them, there is a newer one.
What was
Yeah.
wrong with it? I mean, she
Okay.
doesn't even like Caillou
That
anymore.
in
She
the
goes,
sh-
no Caillou.
Good for her. Got a good moral boundary. That girl.
She's really growing.
She knows.
She's
She
really
knows.
growing.
Your lack of screen time has really elevated her standards. Yeah, so I think it might have been one of the older or the newer. I'm not sure which one is like he's whiny and always gets his way.
Oh yeah.
Like,
he
talks back
is-
to the parents,
he is
super whiny.
He is a little bit whiny. I
Yeah.
have noticed that before.
Which, if some parents are very
Excommunicado.
paranoid about their kids getting that kind of messaging in cartoons, which I don't know
that
that's
makes sense.
we've never
Good
like
luck finding a cartoon that's not in even VeggieTales.
right.
Absolutely.
We've never. I think it's funny that it's never even been established that that's what kids get out of cartoons like that. I do think it's a lot of parental paranoia. Like
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
that
Like, am I ruining
kids
my
talking
kid?
back to parents in cartoons equates to my child will pick that up and they will grow up to be
Interesting.
Okay, but
criminals,
you
like-
do know though that they do pick up not good things pretty quickly from
Yeah.
seeing other
I'm not saying it's not true,
trying
but
it
we just like
themselves or
yeah.
whatever. So this
Maybe at a
is a
certain
little
age
bit of
too.
All I'm
Yeah.
saying, yeah, I do agree that they can learn from shows and pick bad stuff up. All I'm saying is the criteria for never let your children watch this cartoon was he's whiny and talks back to his parents. Like that's it. Like
But like, dude, they'll do that in Adventures in Odyssey, like the Barclays,
Right.
and like, I mean, it's everywhere. And like,
yep.
I think the good part about Adventures in Odyssey and maybe even like VeggieTales, they kind of push back on it. That's the whole point of the episode. Let's say, like, that's not how you act, or you don't talk to. Here's how you honor your parents and whatever. But I'm a
Right.
big fan of Bluey.
Bluey's good.
Sienna hates Bluey.
She
I feel like she's not old enough for it. Maybe
I
like she
love
just
it.
won't watch
I'm just gonna
it.
start watching it for fun. Just me.
Obviously, you have been if you know that you love it, even though she.
yeah.
Only a couple of
Bluey
episodes,
might-
Yeah,
but
there's,
the,
like,
the
little
couple I'm like,
clips.
this is actually like pretty great.
Oh my word!
Yeah, Bluey might be a little. Oh yeah, 2.5. Bluey might be
A
like
little too old.
more Rocky's age.
Bummer. I
4 or
gotta
5,
wait.
4 or 5.
Makes sense.
But it is one that is good for adults to watch. Like Yeah,
It's
Because there's
freaking
like
hilarious.
little jokes for adults,
Yeah,
right?
it's hilarious. They do an unboxing in one of them. Dude, it's so funny.
the themes are a little more
advanced.
catchy for adults. Yeah, yeah. I think
Be mindful, I guess, is the.
I let Curious George ran out. Like we there's 15 seasons of Curious George on Peacock, and the kids got
didn't
through
know
it.
that. Oh, you did it all the way through?
Yeah, we just they'll just watch whenever
Because there's lots of storylines.
Right. So after like a year or two, they finally got through 15 seasons of 20-minute episodes. And when I was home with Isla a week ago, and we were watching some Curious George, and the 15th season was on, and it was the last episode. And you know how when that episode runs out, the suggested is the next show.
Was it Caillou?
And Caillou came on, but I wasn't paying attention. And I think 10 minutes,
You
like 10
ruined your
minutes,
kids.
of,
Good
10
job.
minutes of Caillou ran. And when I looked up from my phone and saw Caillou on the TV, I like instinctively jumped for the remote and like turned it off as fast as I could. And I was like,
Oh my gosh.
don't you tell your mother that we watched 10 minutes of Caillou.
I thought I was doing something good by putting Caillou on. That's so funny.
You're a failure.
Yeah, I think maybe I just heard it. And
Oh my
I thought I'm surprised that you haven't heard that. I thought it was more like well known,
Mainstream.
more well known than that Caillou's like. But
No,
I always think it's funny that
Cocomelon.
he's old and he's completely bald
Right.
still.
Cocomelon.
Cocomelon's
Cocomelon's
bad.
like-
I've
more
heard of
mainstream.
Caillou as being like Cocomelon. Like, don't let your kids watch
Can I
it.
tell you something about Cocomelon? So Cocomelon is like, can I say this on the podcast? I don't know. It's like a drug for children.
Yeah,
Do you know why though?
yeah, because they like change the scenes, right?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can count. It's like 1, 2, 3, change. 1, 2, 3,
It's a
change.
stimulus grabber.
I've never actually seen it. I've
crazy.
never. I want to see. Is
Yeah,
that
you
true?
can literally count to it, and they like change faces or change scenes or.
Crazy.
It's just to hold children's attention.
So we do
longer?
not do Cocomelon.
Yeah,
Yeah, plus there's other stuff in Cocomelon that's pretty garbage.
yeah.
Is there?
It's
They're
just
doing
weird
a lot
too.
of
Like they
stuff
just
with-
look weird.
Yeah, but they're doing a lot of messaging for things that are popular in our culture right now that are not good. So that's reason enough.
Yeah.
But the crazy part is like for a lot of people who just sit their kids in front of a TV for 8 hours a day and don't think it
And
doesn't
we're
happen.
not judging because
Well, a little bit.
We're
We're just saying that that's a bad idea.
we're
Probably
noticing.
shouldn't do that.
we're noticing what you're doing.
Is that there was a long time when, like, you know, all the advertisements are longer for children's shows. It's like every once in a while, if you put a YouTube on and you put on a show, let's say Cocomelon, whatever, an ad will come on. It's like 30 minutes
Okay,
that's not good.
for on YouTube or on like
on YouTube.
Yeah,
Well,
why
because
is
they
that?
know that like if the parent's not watching, then that ad time will run longer, which
Because the
gives
kids
them
don't
more
care.
revenue. The
Yeah,
kids
kids
don't
watch
care
it.
unless
Oh.
they're Cece. She hates those.
She goes,
She's like,
Yeah,
oh
what-
no.
yeah. What does she say? I'm like, okay, be patient.
yeah, Levi.
So
has
that's one
started-
thing. There's some profit incentives there, but also like the recommended stuff, especially on YouTube. Don't like be careful with what your kids are watching on YouTube. Remember a while back there was like that scary thing that kept coming on for kids and telling kids bad things.
Oh yeah,
and like it was a national.
that never
news.
happened to us.
No, but like
It happened
You
to
don't
me
know what
one
the recommended
time
is.
where my kids were watching something, a YouTube clip.
Our kids.
Our kids. Oh my word.
oh, you're still together.
You're maybe
And
sitting too far apart here, but it's because I have to look at you. Because I want to look at you.
oh,
Want to look at you. Carry on.
turn from me a little.
they were these guys. What if they think they run the show or something?
You're a guest. You're just a guest here.
So they were watching something, and there was an ad in the middle of it, and I was right there, and I was probably watching with them, and it was for a horror film,
Nice.
like a horror movie.
Get your act
And
together, YouTube.
I was so mad, and they've never watched YouTube.
And when
so no,
Brielle
I'm
gets
just
mad,
kidding.
and when Brielle gets mad,
We'll look out.
like it's like
I don't think I've ever seen that, to be honest with you. yeah.
I've seen a couple like weird music videos.
she
You're
tries.
making fun of me
she
right
tries.
here.
She tries.
She
I'm
tries
right
to
here,
be
guys.
angry.
She tries to be mad. Yep.
Just because it just comes across cute.
Yeah, pretty much.
You are adorable.
Oh, I've heard Brielle's like mom voice
Yeah.
one time, and it's a little scary. I'm
Only
not gonna
one
lie.
time?
One time.
Nice.
You warned me too.
I hear Stephanie's
I don't
every
know.
day. No.
I don't know what. I was at your house. I was like, whoa,
I'm so
Brielle. No, it was good, but I don't know. Like the kids are upstairs or something, and you had told them quite a few times to come down, or I don't know. And so you said, Stephanie, just be aware, my mom voice is going to come out.
Oh.
And I had never heard it. And you do. You have like a very strong, and the kids came right down.
That's right.
It's very good.
That's right. They know
There
when I
is
mean
a level.
business.
There is a level. Like Tyson talked about this too. He's like, there's like a line in your tone of voice where the kids know they can push to until it's like right there. And
Right.
Like,
Like kind of what Christian said too on his episode when he was saying that the child knew that the third time they need, or when the parent said something specific was when they needed to like, okay.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm
Right. He said that
obey.
That's why
he was out with somebody and the child came up and said like mommy or daddy or whatever, and they were like, just leave, just hold on a minute. And then they said it again. He's like, just hold on a minute. And then they said it a third time, and they said, that's 3. And then the kid just stopped and like straightened up.
But shouldn't
knew exactly.
Shouldn't it be the first
That's what he said.
time, though?
That's what he was saying.
I mean, it's
he's like, the child was trained, but like, why not just train him for the first time to
Right.
listen? I feel that way.
It takes a lot of
Yeah, I think
Don't
as
worry, I'll edit that out. Hon.
I think as parents, like we tend to freak out about little stuff sometimes, and I don't know that it's as critical as we always treat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when it comes to the TV thing, I don't know that we're scarring them as much as we fear. Yeah, Levi has started like he understands the idea of like when the episode ends, they put the next episode cue so that you don't have to watch the credits or find the next. It just does it automatically.
Yeah,
and he's learned that he doesn't have to wait that 15 seconds. He can grab the remote and start the next episode.
Yeah,
and like that bothers you.
I hate it.
It does not bother me.
Yeah, like even
Right.
I don't think it's a huge deal. I don't think that when you compound if you compound that behavior with lots of other little things that like we let like kind of bother us, I think we tend to freak out over each individual little thing. And I don't know that it's like really affecting them a whole lot.
Yes.
Like what is the big deal? It's like at the end of the day,
I just think that they're being
do we need to stress less?
Like trained to, okay, I don't need that. I'm not saying I wish they would sit there and watch the credits. Like that's not actually my issue. Is already at 7, he's learning to like skip things and like want it even faster, like faster.
Yeah.
Like,
like
Yeah.
it's an exercise.
this is going to be
in
embarrassing.
patience.
Yes, but when they watch a show, like don't skip the intro. The intro is so fun. It's a part of the show. It could be like nostalgic or something like that. And when you're just
Skip it every
always,
Oh my gosh,
Nick
Brielle,
just
I
like
didn't even
skip
think-
like he would.
Me too.
And I'm like, oh,
That's
this
not
is
good.
like just let them
You're
sit
doing it.
in it.
You're not taking my advice. Don't freak out.
Let them
You're
sit
freaking out.
in it.
Yeah, I
and
like
let them
that.
like watch and don't.
Well,
don't
they do watch the intro.
Rush.
Our kids never skip the intros.
You're welcome.
Okay.
They've been brainwashed.
That's why I
by-
talked to Brielle though, because those things don't.
It's
I don't
TikTok.
think.
It's just all.
Right. Yeah.
That's
It's
just
like
TikTok.
the need for instantaneous gratification.
Yeah, it's
Or
so
like, oh, this
bad.
is boring. This is boring.
Yeah.
This is boring.
Yeah,
After
like,
2 seconds.
Does it
2
Does it
seconds.
actually short wire your brain to be less patient?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know anything.
See, I think what you're
Statistically, but yes, it
doing. Yeah, I
does.
think what you're doing is you're taking one small thing that he's learned and you're blowing it out of proportion right away.
Well, I just think that sometimes it's those little things that can add up to a lot if they're compounding and it's in every situation. Yes, I know. I think that you're right in that. I definitely need to just
like
chill out about
Sienna.
some things.
We go on a
That's
lot
why
of
I have you.
we go on a lot of road trips. And so Cece, like our kids have never been wonderful in the car. Like Sienna's a lot better now that she's older. But we will let her watch. We do have a tablet for the car and we try really hard to not put it on until
Yeah, but it's an Amazon tablet and they're trash.
they're not very good. But we try
Amazon,
not
if
to put
you're
it on.
hearing this, they're so not user friendly.
And I want my money back for no 2-day shipping and stop putting ads on everything. I pay for Prime. And your tablet
And
suck.
Amazon just got attacked hard.
I have a
Evan's
Kindle.
gonna
I have
get
a
an email
Kindle,
now.
and it's super slow too. You're right.
Yeah, that's what we have.
It's slow. It's like
so
like
bad.
it's hard to get to the programming. You have to sign into things. It's like
What is this? What? Wow.
Yeah, this all started
wow.
because we skipped to the next show when we were kids.
yeah, with my that isn't
don't
even
know
an
that it's
option.
not.
You had to rewind the VHS when I was a kid. That
No,
took
but to
forever.
go off of that though, like we try to wait a while until like if Giada's like sleeping, we're like, okay, we'll put something on so Sienna's not like
waking her up.
talking the entire time. But
Screaming.
if the Kindle is not like working properly, we'll give her our phone. And every 5 seconds, she's like, because there's an ad. And I'm like, Santa, just wait until it's over. Like, patience.
Yeah.
Or I'll even see her pushing the button to skip it. And I'm like, she is 2.5. How
Yeah, I don't
does
know.
she
I think I'm a little bit more.
skip it.
So cute.
I'm a little bit more in the middle camp. Like, I don't think that it is, and I don't think that it's not. Like, if it's not done in moderation and done, like, if you're not keeping track of it, keeping an eye on it, it can definitely metastasize into something bigger.
I'm never going to blame a kid for wanting to skip an ad. This is
Yes,
a different
but
story.
here's the
We're
thing,
talking about
though.
two different things here.
You can look at look at screen exposure and anxiety in children, and it's like there's data. It's proven that it's not good. Like, the more TV you watch,
Yeah.
the more anxious you are, the more issues you have with stress or whatever. So, like, it's not like it's baseless to say some of this stuff's not good for the kids.
Yeah, because
Too
any
much is
addiction
not
is
good.
not good, and you can definitely get addicted to screens.
Yeah, especially when
Okay.
your brain is developing.
Okay. Not being able to stand in line at the grocery store
And see a kid with a tablet.
no,
in front of them? Oh.
without you yourself pulling your phone out. I think that's ridiculous.
I know, it's so
I think there's
scary.
something wrong with
Oh,
that.
you sent me the
I practice
hilarious
not doing
reel the
that.
other day.
You do?
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't act so surprised.
What, you don't pull it out?
You know
you
what,
just
Bob?
stand there and stare at the cashier?
Yeah, I try not to do that. You know what bothers me when I see people like going up to order at restaurants or whatever, and their phone stays like this when they talk to the person.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that really bothers
yep.
me. You know what I'm talking about? Like, say you're in line at McDonald's and then you walk up you're next and you walk up to the counter to make your order, and like you've been on your phone the whole time. You walk up to the counter, there's a person in front of you, and they look up and their phone stays like at their chest while they talk to the person.
Yep.
Yeah, I see
That,
that
like,
a
bugs
lot.
the crap out of me.
We see that a
Put
ton
it in your pocket.
at the swim school. Like, these kids will be doing amazing things in the water, and like you look up and their parents are on their phone, which
Not paying
I've been
attention.
there. Like, it's
Yeah, me too.
I just don't
Absolutely.
Yeah, like I'm
But then the kid gets out of the water after doing an activity, and a tablet is in their hands within like 2 minutes.
right.
You see that everywhere.
I encourage my kids to skip ads. They don't need corporations getting a dime ad revenue off of me or my family. I'm the guy that if I Google something, I will never click the sponsored ad link. I will scroll down two links and find the actual website link that doesn't have the little sponsored symbol
Yeah.
next to it.
Oh my gosh,
They're not getting
that's-
a dime out of me.
That's hilarious.
Stephanie sent me the most hilarious reel the other day. Talking about technology, of course. We send each other a million reels every day. She's a little behind on mine.
I'm trying to catch up.
like
He
a
sends
few
me
years.
a ton.
Not true.
Of what?
I send you as many as you send me. I just actually care about you, and I watch your reels in real time and react to them. Anyway, she sent me one where this lady, and that's so true. Like, if there's downtime, like the first impulse is like to your pocket.
100%. Me
And,
too.
like, so
Absolutely.
it's got to be having an effect somewhere in your psyche. Anyways,
It is.
so she sent me a reel, and the lady was like, it was something like she's walking in the bathroom, like normal clothes, like modern clothes. And she goes, in the caption is something like, when you forget your phone when you go to the bathroom. And, like, as soon as she sits down, she's wearing like an old gown, and she's like, "Dear mother and father, I have arrived at the bathroom." It's like she doesn't even
It is true. Like, why do we take our phones to the bathroom?
she
It's
like doesn't even know what to
ridiculous.
do. It's like, it's been a long time since we've communicated. So true.
What are your latest like real themes that you've been seeing that crack you up?
Oh, dude. None
I
are
know
better
what
than
yours
some of the
are.
ones you send. Like some of the ones that you sent when we were going to do the funny or not challenge.
The Batman,
We should've done it.
the
Oh.
Batman cat ones. Like, I keep seeing them. Oh my gosh, they always get me.
Stephanie doesn't think those are funny.
Neither does Brielle.
Dude, we're just
No,
we're the
it's
same
not, that,
person.
it's not that I thought that they weren't funny. It's that I didn't think that the 17th one was funny.
Sometimes they
anymore.
get the cat just right, and he's like
yeah.
looks up at just the right time. It's so funny.
Can we show one?
Sure, I'll find one.
Oh my word. Okay.
The way he goes, like, it just gets me every
Nick,
time.
send me
I
one.
don't even
Send
know.
me one, and then
I
I'll
don't
put
even
it
know what
on
you
there.
guys are talking about.
Oh my word.
Oh, like
Oh,
there's this
sure.
little mask. Actually, we'll just let her. She won't laugh, but we'll play it, and then she won't laugh. So, I would like to know now that we've talked about screen time for an hour. People are like getting 45 minutes. People didn't know I was going to be a screen time episode.
Right.
It is important. It is.
Yeah.
We don't have any answers, like really.
No.
Yeah.
I
But
will
the
say,
data has to be somewhere in there.
okay, really quick from my own experience, I will say I am the first one to say I'm super addicted to my phone. Like when I walk by it, I literally have a tendency to just like reach out and tap
Totally.
it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Join the club.
Yeah,
Yep.
I do.
Yep, same.
So there's a book called How to Break Up with Your Phone. And it's a small book and it's really fun. And there's a 30-day challenge in it. And I did it and it was good. But specifically since September, because with homeschooling, you know, you're home and need to be schooling your children. And I just found that my phone was like, it's like scary. It was like, I could just.
Another family member.
Yeah, I don't even know, like, it was calling my name or something. Not really, but I would be doing stuff, or
was
I'd be
me. Why didn't you come to help me?
talking to people, or whatever, even communicating,
That
which
was
feels
me.
necessary sometimes. But I've been putting it away in a drawer in the hutch from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. So those are kind of our school hours right now. And
Homeschool rocks.
and
Right.
2
it
hours.
is. I feel so much more like involved in what is going on at the table because like my phone isn't sitting there. I'm not getting a notification. I'm not just tapping it for no good reason. Or even if I have a thought, I might like put it down on a piece of paper to look it up later instead of just looking it up right in that minute and then right in that moment. And then, you know, forgetting, or somebody needs your help and you're like, just a minute, I'll be right there. And I just feel so much more less scatterbrained really is the
Yes.
word for it. And like, if they need something, then I will, I can answer them pretty much right away because I'm paying attention and I'm there. And I will say, this is a homeschool hack maybe, is that I have a coloring book that I like and I've been putting it on the table because sitting at the table when they're doing school with them, because I want to do that because they're in young grades and they need a lot of my help right now. They're not working super, super independently, especially Rocky's in kindergarten. So when he's doing his book work, it is a little tricky just to sit there and like stare at them or whatever. So I've gotten a coloring book and I've just done some coloring as I'm sitting there, and it just keeps me occupied enough, but I can leave it super easily if they need my help.
love
It's
that.
not like it's not anything that requires brain space. So it's just kind of like a fiddling
Yes.
sort of thing.
Is
So
that an adult coloring book?
that's a hack. Sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't.
Like, did you buy an adult? Like, you know how they're more intricate and
I do have one of those. Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah. That's not always what I use, but
I was thinking like Christmas idea, but
Yes, I agree, Brielle. Like the days that I'm most anxious, I'm like, okay, what is different today versus yesterday when I felt really good? And it a lot of times comes down to my phone.
how much you're on it or
Yep,
what you're
yep.
doing on
Like,
it, what
I'm
you need it for.
constantly- He'll even say like he'll be done with work and I'll be on the emails, like on our Shoreline emails, and he's like, "What are you doing? Like, why are you on that right now?" I have no idea why I am. I'm just
nothing hits the dopamine like an email refresh.
I don't.
Yeah.
Right.
know.
Sometimes
Like,
when you don't have
like
anything
last
to do
resort.
on your phone, you
Gone through
just
everything.
find something
Yeah,
to
I
do
just
on your
go
phone.
through the motions
Yeah,
of
I
like
know.
which one can I click now.
Yep.
That's like, yeah, but even more than that, it's just like scrolling social media. It's just
Yeah.
like,
And
you
some
can do that literally forever.
yeah.
And it'll keep you
And
engaged and it'll send you what you want to see.
Till your eyes start
Not
burning.
for long. TikTok's about to get banned.
Is it for real?
Yes. So they finally made a ruling on that, and the court, the initial court
They
was
wait.
like, okay, so long time ago, like a year ago,
Yeah.
they were going to ban TikTok unless the Chinese company that owns it sells it, or a majority of it, to an American company somewhere. That was the general rule.
For fear of like, spying and
correct.
yeah,
Yep.
information and data harvesting.
Exactly. Just foreign intervention not being allowed. So that like went away for a bit, but then it came back, and like this past month, whatever court was in charge of like trying it, ruled in favor of banning TikTok unless they sell to a foreign
We're
to
going
an
to lose our
American
40
company.
followers.
The only way that it will be now, there's an option to appeal it, but the court that is in charge of handling the appeal case does not have to accept the appeal case. There's no obligation for them to do that. If they do, then it'll go to appeal. It'll go to appeal and they'll retry it with this new appeal court. But if they decide not to pick up the appeal case, which they don't have to, then it will go through as a ruling in favor of TikTok being banned.
And then it'll just
slash
be banned.
sold.
Crazy.
It'll be banned in the country.
It'll be banned
or
unless
sold.
it was sold to an American company. Yep. Yeah, crazy. Like, ooh, wild. Okay, Batcat.
Speaking of TikTok, this is actually
Well, we
this is
can.
Facebook. All right, hon. We should zoom in on Stephanie's face probably because she's gonna.
Stop.
Okay, that's a cat, and it's got.
I already know I'm not going to find it funny.
I know. I think I've showed her these before.
That's kind of funny.
Don't you think that's hilarious? It turned into Batman.
And then the cat goes, like,
Catman.
perfect timing
Yeah.
for a cat.
Yes.
Now, those are all over. Like, hundreds of people doing that with their cats.
Oh no. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's just playing stuff.
Do it again next. We could literally just
my
scroll
word.
for an hour and a half and demonstrate.
Yeah.
See?
Dude, we need to do
Good
we need to
stuff.
do a
Good
funny,
stuff.
Judy, Nick.
we need to do a funny or not thing.
What?
Judge Judy.
All right,
I
next talk
cannot
conversation.
stand that show.
Thank you.
Okay.
Judge
Oh
Judy.
my
What
God,
is-
we don't
Thank
need to
you.
talk about
Listen.
Judge Judy.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question, please? Why is she so stinking mean to people?
I know my dad hates that too, but I
Yeah, so
love it.
maybe just
So-
all
I
men
love
can't
it.
stand that. I don't know
Why?
why.
Okay, so knowing how
do you
like
love that so much?
rude,
I don't know.
she's so
She's
rude.
just so powerful.
But that's the antithesis of power. She's abusive.
And it's also the
That
opposite
just
of
got
what she's
deep,
supposed
guys.
to be.
Yeah, she's
Whoa,
abusive.
whoa, whoa.
Okay.
She's
I don't
abusing
know.
her authority.
I love Judge Judy. I watch
Why?
it when I
Justice is
fold
supposed to be
laundry.
blind.
Why? Okay, I would love to know why you love Judge Judy.
Yeah, me
I
too.
don't know. I find it so entertaining.
Wait,
She's
what?
just-
Like the
Is it
cases?
justice?
I like how
I get that.
fast she
I get
is.
it.
Like when if there's a case, I try to think. Obviously, they're not like normally big cases. They're like if
Arbiter type cases.
We don't
yeah.
know.
okay,
Fill us in.
if there's like a small like little car accident or something, and it's whose fault is it, or if somebody gets divorced, who gets the TV? Like it's very small things typically.
Civil court.
Yes, civil court. But I'm like, okay, like I wonder what. Like by law, like who would get the TV? And I try to like think of it, and I'm always wrong. And I'm like, how does she know that quick? Like exactly.
Well, she's like 130. And then also, she's been doing this forever.
No, I know, but she's just very speedy at like knowing who's wrong, who's right, who's lying. She always thinks she knows who's lying, and I'm like, she can't always know that because the person's like, I'm actually not lying, I'm being truthful to you, and she's like, you're lying, I don't believe you.
Wait, so is it legit?
How do you get through those parts? So I was going to ask.
Yes.
So you must not find it cringy when she's so mean to people because
I don't.
to me it's
I don't-
unwatchable.
Yeah, my dad feels the same. He wants it
I-
turned off. Like
I-
he doesn't
I think-
doesn't like it.
I think the premise of the show is interesting, just like you do, and so I'm like, oh, cool. And then she like snaps at someone, and I'm like, turn it off. Like she's so mean.
She is very mean.
She's super
Yeah,
mean.
She is.
Okay,
I don't know.
well,
But that
I
doesn't
just like
bother you?
it. It doesn't bother me. I don't know.
So you would watch that forever, but not those awesome cat videos.
I would much rather watch Judge Judy.
do you like any of the other fake judge shows, like more like Judge
The
Maury or
People's
whatever?
Court?
No,
People's
Maury, that's
Court,
not
yeah.
a judge. Maury's
That's
is
a good
like,
one.
you are not the father. And then
like
everybody
those.
Oh yeah,
fights
like
on
Spring, like
stage.
Jerry Springer. Yeah, yeah.
Jerry Springer.
I like those shows.
I'm so lost.
Those are in
Okay,
Stanford.
I'm sorry. That actually explains it. Like, so yeah, okay. So you like
you
Jerry
like those
Springer?
too?
The Judge Judy makes
Oh my
sense.
God.
What did you marry, babe?
Yikes.
Yeah, no, those are guilty pleasure type. Like,
Yeah, those are.
who doesn't like a good Jerry Springer clip?
Yeah,
they're
they're
hilarious.
just funny.
Yeah, the Judge Judy, man, she's just so
And they start fighting
dang
on stage.
mean.
Yeah, she is. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of
The
it.
bailiffs are hilarious though. The bailiffs act like so tough.
Yeah, they barely talk.
One time I noticed when like she sent him over to pick up like a packet of text message printouts for evidence, he like walked over and the guy like held the papers out and the bailiff like snatched them out of his hand. Like I'm like, okay, dude, like, you're a fake bailiff. Like calm down.
You're a TV bailiff. You're not even a real bailiff.
I saw one recently, like, here I am. I watched Judge Judy. I saw one recently.
Yeah, right. Judge Judy, why are you watching
one
I
of the
just saw a clip on TikTok, not the whole thing.
One of the cases was a guy took, a man took his female barber, hairstylist to court because she gave him a bad haircut and he wanted $5,000. It was
Come
insane.
on, man.
Like
That's
that.
like
I could've
spilling
done
hot
that once.
coffee on yourself.
Yeah.
Was that like the first
And he was a lawyer.
lawsuit?
He was a lawyer.
Of course.
He was like, I'm gonna be able
like,
to,
I
I'm gonna be
got
able to
this.
spin this, and she shut it down fast. It
That
was
is
like a
so
5-minute
funny.
Good
segment.
for her.
Yeah.
And we need more judges like that that are just
Anyway.
like, this is frivolous nonsense.
Oh, she's
Dude,
so dang.
was
mean.
the
so rude.
the big? I remember being a kid And when that lady spilled coffee on herself at McDonald's and got like millions or whatever it was,
Yeah.
I remember that being like the first time I was like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And just sent the craziest precedent for every lawsuit ever to come now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Spilled
she
hot coffee
didn't
on
know that the
yourself
coffee was
because-
hot,
Right.
Or the cover wasn't on.
but she
whatever.
got so much money for that.
Yeah. And like, so now what do? You just enticed millions of people to.
Right. They
Yeah,
don't allow that
everyone
anymore,
takes-
right?
Oh, I love
Anyways,
it.
They
Yeah,
don't allow that anymore, right?
What?
They don't allow that anymore, right? Like after,
Spilling
on the
yourself?
coffee it says like caution hot. for
yeah,
that
but
reason.
after that sparked a big change. Like there's like frivolous lawsuits or a
Yeah.
thing now, right?
I know,
Like,
but
you
it seems
can't-
like some of that stuff still goes on.
Another famous mean TV character was Simon Cowell, and I loved him on American Idol.
That is true. He was brutal.
so mean.
He was
But it
brutal in the
great.
best
He
way.
was brutal, yeah.
Simon Cowell, shout out, buddy. Thanks for being brutal to the people who really can't sing. Dude, some of those are brutal.
Yeah,
He's
wow.
like, do you have a voice coach? You should fire them. Like, now, I never sing another song ever.
He's great.
All right. So now that we've gotten Judge Judy out of the way, everybody was really waiting for that take, I'm sure. Like, I just want to hear how they feel about Judge Judy.
Bat cat. Started
We are
it all.
both married couples. Happily, right? Nick, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And
For show.
we're a lot newlier married than you guys.
What do you guys
Like
have?
half. Like 4.5?
4.5.
No. Almost. Well, in May it'll be 5. Crazy.
Yeah, okay.
So about 4
And
and
then
a
you
half.
guys are like more like
9 will be 9 in January.
That's
Ooh.
crazy.
Yeah, okay, so almost double.
Look how fast I said that.
What
Look how fast I remembered that.
how about this? What are some things that are hard?
Remembering your anniversary.
We know their anniversary.
yeah.
It's a very special day for us. Do you know why, Brock? Do you know?
Is this about to get weird?
Do I have to talk now?
Do you know why?
Hold on.
We know
Hold on,
their
hold on.
anniversary.
Don't give it
Is that your birthday? Oh, no, it's on Gigi's birthday.
Yeah.
Giada.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 16th. January. January 16th, Nick. You're welcome.
Nice. Yeah.
Hey, Nick, when'd you get married?
1/6/16.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
I
not that
like
hard.
it.
That's not that hard to remember.
Nope.
Ours is 5/10/20. See, I'm not dumb.
Oh, right.
We're not dumb.
5, 10, 20.
You guys were babies. Were you?
We
You were
picked
20.
Good ones.
Yes. I turned 20 the month after we got married. Yeah.
You were a youngin' by today's standards.
Yeah.
Or 23.
Yeah, so like what
Perfectly
in
legal
9
now.
years, I feel like that's a pretty good chunk of change to be able
Almost
to
10.
say some things that maybe you've gotten right or you haven't quite figured out yet.
It doesn't feel like that long. It feels like we're still,
Right.
there's just so much to learn and grow. So it feels like, no, I don't
Yeah.
think I can give any advice because I'm still over here figuring it
Not
out.
me. I got a lot to say. So
I have it all figured out.
I think we've done a lot well, but by accident.
Oh.
Yep. I think we've done a good job of avoiding a lot of the struggles that newly married couples might have.
Like what?
Finances, for one. We never have struggled financially between us. No matter where we were at financially, like we have always gotten along.
Well,
There's never been issues financially between you and I.
I mean, like, yeah, there
It's
was
never been a stress between like you and I have never been pitted against each other because of financial stress. Like we've always handled that well together. But like it wasn't because we did anything special. I think it just worked.
our personalities just lent itself to.
Yeah, I don't know what I did right. I just think there are some things that I feel lucky, or what you did right, what we did right. Yeah,
You're
what we did right.
You never
I
pit
just
against
think-
each other.
Well, I don't know what we did right. There's just a few things that I've noticed over the years that we haven't, like we've been very good at, but also a lot of other things that we've had to work at too. So we're not perfect. Yeah.
So mostly personality when it comes to money. You guys are just kind of on the same page. Like
I think-
money's going to come and go. And
I think we both,
Yeah.
maybe it's possible that we both went into it with a very responsible. I was not always responsible with my money, but when we got married, that like changed, but I don't know what I did. Like you've always been responsible with money. I was not always, but when we got married, I just flipped the coin and like, I don't know how yeah. So I think just being, both of us desiring to be responsible with our finances helped is probably the biggest reason why.
Well, and we sat down pretty early and established some goals. So then I
Yeah.
feel like that probably gave us a common thing that we were working towards. So that might have been helpful.
Man, just never has been a problem.
Yeah, was that just based on something you wanted to do or something somebody told you should do?
I think it came very naturally. to figure it out. I mean, like when we got married, we moved into a trailer. And obviously, immediately, it's like, okay, well, this is not a long-term solution. So, like, how long do we want to be in the trailer? When do we want to be, moving into a bigger house? And
how long before you guys were in the trailer that you were starting to get ready, like to save up to build?
Immediately.
That
Yeah. We
was
started
that
saving
was
right
the
away.
goal.
To build or be able to move out. Yeah.
Yep.
Right. We weren't planning to build originally.
No.
Initially, yeah.
We just wanted to save up as much money as we could for 5 years. And that's what we did.
5 years.
Yeah.
And then we were in the trailer 6 years.
Right.
It was a little longer because we did decide to build.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a big one for me. I think we generally agree on how to raise our children. Some disagreements here and there, but we have a general alignment.
Like screen time?
Besides screen
We're
time.
super on the same page about that. If you
definitely.
hadn't
Screen
noticed.
screen time, yeah. The need for TV / the want for TV, not so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we have a ton of, ask us in 20 years, maybe when we can feel a little more credible.
Yeah.
But,
So what are you struggling with now then?
what do you think? It's hard to quantify it or to put it into words. I don't know if we talked about this last time, but like just in the last year, I feel like after almost 10 years, like it's not so much, we're struggling getting along with how we raise our kids, or we're struggling with for us, I can't speak for everybody. We're struggling with how much money we spend. Like it's just not they're not that tangible. I think at this point in our marriage, it's more the unspoken stuff, which I think we talked about last time. This past year, we've had to really learn how to voice where we're each at so that we can work on things together instead of accidentally working on things alone. If I have internal personal financial stress, or if I have internal personal, work stress, or, taking care of the house stress, like these things that feel so big in my mind, and you've got your own personal internal stresses, like the kids are, you're locked in the house with the kids all day, exaggerating, but very, very common homeschool mom issues that you might be dealing with on the inside, desiring adult contact every once in a while, like, going, all the things that we both struggle
Having
with.
to clean all the time.
Cleaning and cooking, taking care of children, taking care of a home. We deal with those struggles on the inside internally and forget very easily that, that you need to work on those together and not try to handle it individually, so that you don't become reclusive, because that's what happens. If you try to handle your issues internally separately, you just become more and more reclusive, and then you almost can almost walk the line of being resentful when the other person wants to then help you all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. And so having to like kind of keep that away.
Wants your help.
When they want your help with something,
yeah.
you're like resentful. Like
right.
It's just a weird emotion that I can't explain why you feel that way. But learning to avoid, realizing that that's what's happening a little while ago, and then learning to fix it and work on it and deal with our problems together, instead of individually, has been a more abstract, a little bit deeper than the average. We just don't agree on finances type of stuff, which those are real problems too. But I just don't think we really struggle with those.
And those are big. Those are big problems.
They are really big problems for a lot of people. I know that.
Yeah.
I think ours is right now, and maybe someday it will be. Like it can always change.
Absolutely right.
But I think for us, it's like right now our season is, let's not try to handle our stuff alone. Let's try to handle our stuff together, so that we don't fall apart.
Can I ask another question? When you guys were first dating and first married, your relationship then versus now, do you like it more now or then, or do you feel like it's the same? Like how has that changed or?
I got this again. So I'm just kidding. You can go. It's definitely not the same.
No.
Yeah, it's not the same because we have children and responsibilities and jobs that keep us apart, and like it was easier to be friends early on, and now we have to be more intentional.
Yeah.
I would say that that's what feels like the biggest difference to me, is that before we just wanted to spend all of our time together, and we could.
Right.
And now there's just so much responsibility, for both of us, and you have to be intentional about going on date nights and having that, but even like when the kids are in bed, or I don't know, just different things. That's probably my biggest struggle right now, because I am such a quality time person, is growing and asking the Lord to help me grow, because I can have unrealistic desires to like just do everything together. Like if I'm folding a load of laundry, like, oh, I wish Nick would come and like fold this load of laundry with me. Or, if I'm taking something up to the attic, like, oh, I'd really love his help. But part of it is, I think, the desire to have somebody shouldering the responsibility that you're carrying. And I think that's very normal. But, there's two of us, and we each have things that we do have to take care of so that the, life keeps moving. And so I think that there's some of that I'm kind of just trying to figure out, like, what is okay and what is good to say, like, hey, can we do this together? Can we be together? Or can you, spend time with me? Versus like, okay, that's like, I need to be a big girl and be independent too, to a certain degree, and not want to like take all of his time and resources too. So right now, I feel like what I'm trying to figure out and ask the Lord for wisdom for in marriage specifically. It's been a year full of transitions for us. So I think just processing through some of those transitions and figuring out how our relationship is different and how it can still be good, but in different ways than maybe it used to be beforehand, and all of that. So,
do you guys have like set responsibilities? Because a lot of people do that. Like a lot of people will like sit down and they'll like label out what their responsibilities are.
Right.
And
yeah, like I definitely make all the money, put the food on the table, keep a roof over our head. I'm just kidding.
You are the worst sometimes.
Yeah, we do have. Yeah, I take care of cars. You
take care of outside too.
Yeah, I take care of outside stuff. You are generally good at keeping up with the house inside, like some pretty basic stuff.
The household kinds of things, maybe.
But yeah, I don't know that we've ever. I don't know. I think we've talked about some stuff. I don't know that we have it.
We've never like made a list
For sure,
a division of responsibilities. It's called.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Is that what it is?
Yeah,
that's what it's called.
I should have said that.
But really,
I felt so smart.
It's pretty unspoken. Like I go to work,
Right,
and you are the educator of our children and the purveyor of their future, which is like huge. That's why we homeschool. So it's definitely split down the middle, and sometimes your job is more. It takes more of a toll on you than my job takes on me, and it goes back and forth.
Right.
Like we have equally important roles.
Right.
Is that easy to see? Like
it's a lot.
Feel like is it easy to see when the other is having a more difficult time with their roles?
I do not hide it very well.
No.
Do I? I
No,
try and I pretend.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
That I do, and I'm not very good at that.
So you lie.
Kinda. I try to. What do I?
Wait, you
even
try
do?
to downplay that you're struggling.
Yeah.
I meant.
But then I'll close the cabinet door a little too hard, or I'll
like, what was that?
Right. It's not.
Yeah.
I'm
but like, is it easy
Let's
to get?
cut that out of the podcast. I don't want that in the podcast.
Is it easy to get like resentful when the others, if it's not noticed that you're struggling maybe more than that person is in their responsibilities?
Oh yeah,
I don't feel that way, but maybe you do.
I do. Like you always want to be seen and you want to be known. So like the biggest thing is if you're not doing well, your biggest desire is for the other person to see that you're not doing well and then to be like, wow, like I can tell you're not doing well. What can I do? Like how can I make that better? At least for me. So yeah, you just want to be loved. Maybe that's a female thing, or maybe it's just maybe that's just me too.
I would tend to just kind of like handle it on the inside, which isn't healthy either. Like I would tend to not want to be noticed, which increases that effect of separation. So it's like it doubles down on the not goodness of, if we're doing it at the same time, it's like we're pulling each other further apart, and we have to really work to we have to be careful not to do that, which is kind of the same thing we were talking about earlier. Yeah. How about you guys?
How about us?
Same things to you.
That was a lot of things.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's been a crazy year. Like, if you'd asked us this last year, we might have completely different answers. And if you ask us next year, we might have different answers. This year has been definitely the busiest, like emotionally busiest year of our lives. That's for sure. Like,
good time to start a podcast.
Yeah. I've worked really, really ideal hours for the last 6 years. And this year kind of went back to a general idea of a 9 to 5. And that's been an adjustment.
Well, plus you were home for a long time in between the two jobs. So I was had to adjust to you being home so much. And now I have to adjust it to that. Now I have to adjust to you being gone more often. So it's just strange.
But I think it's gone really well. And you're very supportive. And I don't have any complaints. I've told you that. She's very graceful. Yeah. Yeah. So what have you learned after 4 years of marriage?
What have you learned, hon? Anything? We're just flying by the seat of our pants. Is that what it is?
Basically it.
Yeah, that's
the saying? Mm-hmm. I don't understand it at all, but sounds like it fit there.
By the seat of our pants. That doesn't make any sense.
No, it's just...
Yeah, I feel like a lot has happened in 4 years. We've had 2 children so far, built a house, moved states.
Career changes.
Have a business together. I like us best when we're good and on the same page. And it's never fun when you feel disconnected from your spouse, which obviously happens in seasons of marriage.
What does it look like when we're good? What does that look like?
Just being able to have time together, that we're enjoying each other's companies, that we know what you're saying about roles. I feel like that's significant. I feel very like uplifted when you're telling me I'm doing a good job with the girls and the house and things like that. I think a lot of our like anything that we struggle with is more emotional, because like you were saying, a lot of the big things that couples struggle with, like finances, for example, we're very blessed. Like that hasn't been a struggle for us yet. I mean, down the road it could be, but a lot of those things we align with how we spend our money. We both have, like we're both a part of our finances. So we both know like what's coming in, what's going out. Brock has more of a role that way than I do, but again, like I know what we're spending our money on, things like that. So a lot of those things we align, which makes it easier in our relationship.
Yeah, we have the same goals too.
We have the same goals.
We sit down pretty regularly and kind of think about what's next and talk about what's next, and that's helpful.
Yeah. Do you guys have like specific questions at those times of just checking in that you go over, or is it just whatever's needed in the moment?
Like financially, or just like in general, like
like
checking in on each other?
If you sit down to just talk about life, do you have any?
No specifics.
No specifics. Okay. I'm very open. I discuss a lot of my problems. Situations. And so
shout out to last episode.
You don't have problems. You've got situations.
Yes. The Ukrainian episode. You gotta do it.
But I did listen to that.
Heyo.
But yeah, so Brock does have to hear about my situations a lot. And so that I feel like can be a little hard for him, like because he does work from home. So if I'm struggling that day, it's not like he's at work and doesn't really know about it. He is witnessing me crying or the house
working
just
from
like
home is,
looking
you
like
know,
a
a little
bomb
bit.
went off, and he's like, "Wait a minute, it was clean an hour ago. How did this happen?" I don't know how it happened.
Like, you tell
But yeah,
me.
he sees my roller coaster of emotions. Like, you know, in the morning I might be super happy. By 1 o'clock I might be like ready to pull my hair out. Then by 5 o'clock I'm happy again. So like he, you know, working from home for a husband, I feel like is definitely different than being outside the home.
For sure.
Like, yeah. So that there's so many benefits and blessings to it. Like our schedule is super flexible. The girls get to see Brock all day long. You know, he's in the office primarily, but again, like he can come out and play with them for a few minutes and go back in. So that's such a blessing. But yeah, just like, just understanding our roles is something that I think we're working on, and it can be a little pull. I don't know the right expression. From the opposite,
Flying by the seat of your pants.
from the opposite perspective, there are days that I wish I could be in the office. Like, you know, I'm with the girls all day, wishing that I could be sitting on a computer. You know, but yeah, that when you see your husband working, it's a lot less of an emotional job than raising children. And so like I might be mentally drained and wishing like, oh, I wish I could sit, you know, at a desk and not have children hanging on me. And I don't know if I would quite have that feeling if Brock was outside of the home. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Like you get to witness him just hanging out in the office, which
Right.
the grass is greener on the other side.
Yeah,
So
what he's
that
actually doing in the
feels-
office is pulling his hair out and trying to
managing
figure out how to run a
employees.
business without everything imploding at any moment in time.
Yeah, we have a lot of employees and
Yeah.
lots of clients, lots of moving
Tons of
parts.
clients. Yeah.
Brock's also trying to grow the business, so there's a lot going on with that. I think it's hard because I also work. It's just I don't work in the office. So when I'm working, I might be doing a FaceTime call with one of my staff members, and I have the girls on me as I'm trying to talk. And so, yeah, I feel like sometimes being a mom and working is definitely different than like a traditional husband working, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, it can be a little challenging balancing both. Thankfully, I don't work a ton. I mostly touch base with the staff every day, and then I have 1 day a week that I try to get all my work done in a certain amount of hours. But yeah, I think those would be like our struggles right now, is just kind of figuring out how to balance our roles. Mm-hmm. Because we don't have very traditional roles in the sense of you work outside of the home, I stay home. We're both home. We both work for the same company.
You're able to be a little bit more involved at home because you're home.
Yeah, a lot more.
Right. Yeah, and I'm also more involved in the business than a traditional stay-at-home mom would be. So, yeah.
Yeah, we've been there. Yep. I love working from home when I get to, though. It's like the best. I would never want to go back to an office or a work setting where I didn't have control over being there or not. I love it personally.
When the kids are so loud.
Yeah, I just love being around the kids. I freaking love it. Yeah. I love that knowing that I can walk out the door and see the kids whenever I want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the best.
When Brock travels, I'm on my own with the girls for 2-3 days. And I literally keep the house so clean. Everything is like running so smoothly. And Brock's like so proud of me the whole time and like so happy. And then he gets home and I'm like dead. And he's like, why
Can you
would
do this, and this?
Why?
You just did it.
Yeah,
you
can
did
you
so
give
good.
me water? He's like,
Yeah,
why
you thrive
would
when I'm not here. Just thriving.
I think it's because I know, like, I don't have any, like, I have to, right? But then when you're home, I'm able to lean on you more.
Yeah, which when I can, that's nice to be able to do, which I can a lot of times.
Yeah.
And like, it's exhausting to be raising kids all the time, especially little ones that have a lot of needs. So I think that's been the bigger struggle for us, is being able to understand that. Like, Stephanie does such a good job. Seriously, you're such a good mom.
Aww,
And like, I think it's good to have the kind of relationship that's like respecting each other's roles and being okay with that. Like it's it's not easy doing what she does every day. It's not easy. It's tough. And I think that a lot of the stuff that I do is tough too, but it's a different tough. Like it's just different. Being able to rely on each other. We just have to we have to communicate. It's when we're not doing well, our communication falls. It's when it's falling apart.
And we don't know our
and it's
roles.
usually and our roles start to get muddied.
Yeah.
And that seems kind of like if she would like help with 2 or 3 things, but I have 4 or 5 things I have to get done first. It's difficult to balance those instead of just going up in the office, shutting the door, and being like, I have to do this now, and then I'll come help after or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Like even like we've gotten a lot of snow recently, and so Brock goes out and pretty much plows right away. And that's something maybe a year ago that I would have been like, oh, I wish I could go outside for an hour and plow. Like that sounds fun to like get fresh air and whatever. But like now it's really nice because like Sienna and I will sit by the window and watch Daddy plow, and it's like super relaxing. And then when he comes in, we'll have hot cocoa ready for him. And so when we do have our roles kind of more laid out and our communication is better, that's when I think we thrive.
One of the hardest things that I've found is when what I need is like the opposite of what Nick needs. And he can't give me what I need because it's like what he needs is actually the opposite. For example,
except sometimes that's not true. Sometimes you need, like you saying the plowing thing reminds me of like plopping you on the lawnmower and letting you mow the lawn, and you like love it. Like sometimes you do need silence and like separation. You're not always like quality time. Like sometimes you want to get away and have some alone time.
That is hardly ever true. Now, I'm not saying that I don't every now and then. I am okay with mowing the lawn. But if there were 2 seats on it, I would rather be mowing the lawn together.
What if it was a push lawnmower?
We can each have a hand on it. I'm just kidding.
I think the more that we know and respect each other's roles, that's when we're at our best.
Yeah.
Because there's like, instead of trying to worry about whose role is more important right now or whose is more exhausting right now, that's just nonsense. Like that needs to be gone because it's so fast to build resentment in our relationship where like I've been with the kids all day. What have you been doing? Sitting up in the office, or I've been responding to emails for 3 hours. What have you been doing? Taking
hanging
a nap,
out with the kids,
or whatever. Like we got to get away from that kind of mentality. I think it's toxic.
I think some of it is still being new parents and like my age. I still feel young at times. But yeah, I think we're doing a good job and getting better each day. And I definitely feel similar that I'm like a with person. I like to be with Brock. He's my best friend. Like I feel like we do everything together, and it's very.
That's not true. Brock's my best friend.
I feel very blessed that he does work from home because I get to see him all the time, and I love. Yeah. Like I can't imagine not.
It's definitely a net positive.
I love being around him. But yeah, like even today he had to go work and he started walking up the stairs and I was like, where are you going? He's like, Stephanie, I have to go to work. And I'm like, well, maybe just 5 more minutes.
Yeah. That is the hard part. Like if I have tasks to do, like it sounds bad, but you shut the family off kind of. Mm-hmm. And that sounds bad, but it's necessary sometimes.
Yeah, like even if dinner's ready. You normally finish work and I'll have dinner ready and I'll call up again because he works from home. Brock, like dinner's ready. And
5 minutes goes by, I'm still in the middle of something really important.
Cece goes, Daddy, dinner. Yeah. Daddy, yummy food.
Yummy food.
She's been hearing me call him Brock a lot. So now her new name for him, it's so strange. But I think it's really cute. She goes, Daddy Brock. Daddy Brock. And we're like, I love it. Just Daddy.
No, and then for me, it's so cute.
I don't know if it's because Brock calls me honey a lot, but she goes, Mommy honey.
Last night she was praying because like she prays and like when I'm done praying, then she goes, no, more pray. So I'm holding her in my arms is like the moments you'll never get back, right?
Right.
And I'm thinking about these things every time these moments happen. I'm like trying to soak it in like the most
They're
you
so
can.
precious.
And so she's like, "Mommy food, mommy honey, daddy Brock, baby Gigi."
No, she
Ali.
doesn't say baby Gigi.
Oh, she says Giada now.
Yeah.
She says
Gigi's
Giada.
name is Giada. And I guess the Italian way to say it is Giada.
Giada.
Giada. And Sienna goes, baby Giada.
Oh my
Oh, yeah,
word.
and Ali and home.
So
They're
cute.
home and Grandpa and Grandma and Mimi and Papa.
Yeah, she goes. through all
And that's her.
precious.
That's how she prays.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Amen," and she starts
That's so
clapping.
cute.
Oh yeah, those are
But
core
yeah.
memories.
You were saying we need different things. I interrupted you. Would you like to continue that thought?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Sir. I was going to say,
That we need different things.
okay, yes. For example, I think I was saying one of the hard things in marriage is when you both need different things and what you need is the opposite of what the other needs. And so it's hard to give them that because what you're needing is different. For example, when Nick is more introverted than I am. And so when he was working at the cafe, he would go and he would be with people and he would be serving people and talking to people all day long. And that was very draining for him. Some days more than others probably, but like in general, just his personality was, he was giving a lot of himself to do that. And then I was at home with little kids, not having any adult interaction, which I really thrive on. So when he would get home, it felt like what I needed was like to be with him, to see him, to talk to him, to like be together. But what he needed was like some quiet, some space to just, rest a little bit.
Yeah, that's hard.
And so I think that sometimes is what marriage feels like, is figuring out like, okay, how do we navigate this? And
The
you
balance.
can have, and I want to, like my heart wants to give him what he needs so that he's good to go and then can, reciprocate. And that's kind of the cycle. But those things just are tricky.
Yeah.
So it's good to talk. I think just like sitting and strategizing, honestly, with marriage, with parenting, goals, just like actually sitting down and having the conversation it goes really far.
Yeah.
Super far to just write down things and commonalities, or even, okay, how about if we try, when you get home, I'll just know for 20 minutes or 30 minutes, you can just go and be
Yeah, maybe shower, like not.
right. Just take a minute, and I can live another 30 minutes. But then you'll know that when that, kind of time is up, that you do come out and see me and talk to me while I'm making dinner, because you want that stuff to just happen organically, but we're human. And sometimes just sitting down and like really figuring things out. Like, I think that is probably marriage advice that I would give, is like just to talk about and strategize the things that are tricky.
Like the emotional side of things too.
Anything that's feeling like a rub, like what's
And yeah, I find that kind of
not working.
exciting when something's not working in your relationship and you're able to like come together and fix that. Like that to me is growth and is fun to be able to know like we love each other, we're together forever. And so why not try to fix this and see like what solution we can come out with.
And it always feels good when you can come to some sort of conclusion or compromise. It's like, okay, good. Let's do it.
Yep.
So, yeah.
All right. To wrap it up, let's all list one cute thing that our kids are doing right now.
my
Oh, I already know mine.
How are there not a million of these already?
Because mine
We
just
can
started
do-
like yesterday.
We can do each person can say one thing about each of their kids, or we can do briefly, or we can do each person can say one thing about one of their kids. I don't care.
Do one for each.
Okay.
As long as we can keep it time constrained.
Brief.
Can we, each of us can say two, because we have 4 kids, so they'll each get
I've
something.
got 4 kids. That's right.
No, you
Well-
get to say one about each kid.
Yeah, I got one for each.
Oh, okay.
I gotta hold
Gotcha,
me back.
gotcha.
All right, Nick, go ahead.
All right.
What do you got?
Oh, man.
No, I have to think. There's so many things.
Rocky, let's see. I'll start with Maybe. Maybe is smiling a lot more. It's super cute. And crawling around like a little robot. The way she moves, she like looks like stop motion. She looks like a stop motion.
It's like a little wind-up toy.
Like she like moves like stop motion claymation or whatever it's called. And then Isla loves to be sung sunshine at night. She calls it sunshine.
Sunshine.
Same.
Yeah, you are my sunshine.
Yeah, sunshine.
And we used to do sunshine or twinkle star, but she heavily leans towards sunshine, so it's sunshine every night. And like she like locks in when you start singing to her.
Yep.
Something like some deep rooted need that she has. I don't know. It's adorable, but like she like zoom, when I start singing.
Zeroes in.
Oh.
Yeah, locks in. It's like super cute. Rocky's just at a really cute stage right now. He's 5. And 5 is just like, yeah, he's just playful and silly and cute. And I just love everything about him. Levi is 7 and he is learning about sympathy and empathy. And I think that that's really fun. Like he's just like his mom who likes to do everything with somebody. And him and Rocky are really becoming friends in the last year, which has been nice to see. They've started doing things together a lot, not just like once in a while, but like every day they will play together. And that's been really fun. And Levi,
because they want to, not because we're like, go play
friends,
together.
Yeah. And it's cute to see Levi. He will try to like convince Rocky to go outside with him. Sometimes Rocky will be like, no, I want to be in here. But Levi will like,
go play your game.
Yeah. He'll try to get him to go outside with him. And that's so cute. Like it's a really innocent time of their lives. And yeah.
Love it. Stephanie, you next.
Sienna is just my little best friend. She's just so sweet. And yeah, she's a people person. She loves to be helping and being with me. And she loves to wear pretties. So she loves to wear dresses all day. And she's been recently like spinning with her eyes closed and singing out loud. And it's so precious and so cute. And I hope she always does that. Just always loves to dance and sing.
I was like, did she steal yours?
Yes. I thought you were going to go a different way with that. I was getting excited. That is a...
Yeah, she also is like not talking. Like she talks, but like she still babbles a lot. So she'll like babble a whole sentence and it's so cute. And we're like, yeah. It's just the best.
You took like 7 things.
I know, I'm sorry. Okay,
How
one
am I
thing.
supposed to compete with this?
Okay, the next thing with Giada, which is so precious, is she just learned how to kiss.
Oh.
So I'll say, Gigi, give mommy a kiss. And she like leans in, and sometimes it's like open mouth kisses and like her tongue will be out, or like other times it will just be like her lips will be closed, and it's so sweet. Yeah. Can I say one more thing about Gigi? That's so cute.
Go ahead, then I'll have to think for a long time now. You're taking every one of them.
So both of my girls have always had a lot of hair, and Gigi has like light brown, curly, lots of thick hair. And so every night I brush her hair, and just recently I've been like giving her the brush, and she picks it up and she brushes her hair, and she like closes her eyes. She's only 11 months, and she's like so tiny and so cute when she's doing it.
She's a genius.
She's brilliant.
Every parent says that about every one of their kids.
But it's really true with our kids.
Yeah,
so.
definitely.
Right.
For sure.
Those are my 2. Brielle.
Those are your 2 for just Gigi. You made 4 for Sienna. You did not abide by the rules.
I'm sorry.
I am now in a difficult position.
I think you'll be able to come up with some more.
I'm sure.
Oh, okay. My turn. Okay. Maybe, who is just a little older than 9 months, is starting to wave to people, and she is so much more smiley. It's amazing. But she waves backward, so she waves like with her hand pointed toward herself. Oh, I wish she would just do it all day long. I could just watch. It's so cute. Isla, my favorite right now, is she has been complimenting me, but she doesn't always know like the right words to compliment with for the situation. And one time I was making a picture, and she looked at it and she goes, "Mommy, you are so brave." Yep.
Which could definitely be seen as a backhanded compliment. You're very brave to draw that.
I love her.
That's hilarious.
And one time I
Mommy, you were so brave.
I was doing something and I'm sorry, I don't even remember the context, but she said, "You're so strong," and like it was not. Yeah,
You weren't doing anything to warrant that.
no,
moment.
I think I was like maybe tidying up or I don't know. So that's my favorite. She's just complimenting right now. Sometimes she puts her hand on my.
Okay, that ties. Can I say one more thing about Ella, please? One
I'm never
specific
gonna
thing.
get to
That the whole this.
Yeah.
I've noticed that she will start like tucking like. If I'm laying on the couch and my shoulder's exposed, if I got a blanket on, she'll like put it over my shoulder.
It's these little things. I hope we never
I
forget
know.
them.
Yeah, she's like just like nurturing,
Yeah.
like little.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yep. So sometimes she'll rub my hair. Sometimes she'll tuck
Yeah.
my hair behind my. Yeah.
Yep,
Okay. Okay.
very concerned.
Rocky, he is working really hard right now on coloring inside the lines, and he's getting just more creative, and I love that. It's so cute and seeing the things he comes up with. And he was coloring a truck that it was just a plain solid colored truck, but he was doing thick orange and black lines, and he said, "Yeah, it's a tiger truck." And I love that. It's just seeing the things he comes up with. So cute. And he works really hard on it. So
And brings me everything that he colors
and he brings
draws.
you every piece
He's
of
in that stage.
every
Anything,
piece
any
of-
piece of art in his eyes that he created, it comes right to my desk.
Yeah. Although I should let you know that he will be selling some of his artwork.
Oh my
He
gosh,
decided.
he tried
Yeah.
to sell my. Oh my gosh!
To all our listeners,
Yeah.
reach
Yeah.
out
To
to
all
us.
of
When
us.
my dad was there the other night, he just randomly. He's a gifter. Like I said, he brings all that stuff to me, and it's like how he's always been. Except this time, he brought my dad a picture and then held his hand out.
I told him.
He said, "What?" And with a dead serious face, he said, "That's a quarter, please." And we were all
Okay, he's
confused because I
already
didn't
a
know this yet.
businessman.
And I was
Yeah.
like really embarrassed. Like, Levi, Rock, you can't ask for money for that. And then I learned that he's like selling stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Well, he
it's
was
really
he
cute.
was
So
tracing
cute.
his name really good, and he said, "I'd like to sell these, maybe for $1.50."
He
and I said, "Maybe a nickel."
my dad was
You made
like,
a
"Next
quarter.
time, kid," which I thought was good. Like, yeah, teach him. Like,
Oh, cute.
I'll buy one.
I was like, you need to step it up if you're gonna like ask for money.
So cute. And Levi, since maybe, has been getting so much happier and smilier and more personable. Levi has been just playing with her, going up to her, talking, and just really enjoying her. Like if she's in her high chair, he, honestly, of the older three, he's the one to like go over and just talk to her, give her kisses and things like that. And that's really nice to see. Cute. Very cute.
Oh boy.
You're up.
Put on the spot. So many things. I don't want to not pick the best one. So this is just something that they're doing right now, or something that they're
something
learning
cute.
now. Oh, something cute. Oh, okay. I'll start with Gigi. Giada is just coming out with her first two teeth.
Oh.
The front, bottom. Are those always the first ones?
I think so.
Sometimes the bottom two come up. Oh, is that what you said? Bottom?
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like bottom and top can be
Okay.
a little interchangeable, but
So one of the things that she's doing recently, she has like a regular smile, and then she has like an over the top smile. It's like that. And I get to see those little teeth. That's pretty special. But more recently, she's like recognizing me every single time I walk in the room and just like lights up. That's all I need.
that's the best.
She's doing lots of stuff though right now. Cute
Yeah.
things. She's growing up too fast though. She got a birthday next month.
Yeah.
Insane.
year.
Hold them tighter and will they stop growing? I don't think so.
I don't know.
don't
I think
blink.
we've tried
What?
that.
Just don't blink.
Just don't blink.
That's what they say.
I have the distinct pleasure of putting Sienna down, our oldest, most nights. Pretty much every night.
Every night that you're home,
Every night that I'm home and not away on business.
I do GG.
Recently, I've been realizing she's getting bigger in my arms.
Oh.
They don't stay small forever, I guess. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I love every single moment with both of them. But recently, Cece at nighttime, besides when she's doing her morning sunshine and her little prayers and whatever, I've been holding her this way. That's how I've noticed she's getting bigger. And she looks up at me and kind of fakes like she's sleeping and brings her hand up and like will rub my face or my back of my arm. And it's like, oh man, Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what life's all about right there.
Yeah. She's the
I don't think it
best.
gets more special than that. So
It's those endearing things, like those little lovey.
I'll remember them forever.
things.
That's just a couple of things. Every single day, there's something that both of them do that's like, oh, you didn't do that yesterday, or wow, you just put a full sentence together, and that sounded like really clear with CC,
Right.
or Gigi will start moving around the living room or playing.
And seeing them play together, oh, it's the
best
best.
things
It's
ever.
The best.
Like
It is.
all the things that you can do in your life, being a parent is just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's tough, it's hard, it's difficult. It's not always super fun with some of those hard things, but they pay you back
Yeah.
like crazy. And every single moment you get with them it's a blessing. So, yeah,
It's true.
Right on.
that's it.
Thanks, wives.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, ladies, for
Thanks
coming
for
on.
having
Whew,
us.
got a little touch and go there for a second at the end. We appreciate you coming, spending your time with us. I mean, you didn't have a choice, so.
My pleasure.
Now we can go have brownies.
Ooh.
Our
Thank
amazing
you.
babysitters made brownies.
Yeah, shout out to Olivia and Hannah, our nieces, for coming and watching the kiddos.
The best.
So we could be down here and getting to talk and spend some quality time for the couples series. So we'll be doing this again. So if you like it, good. If you don't like it, too bad. We're gonna keep doing it. So anything else, Nick, Brielle?
No,
Peace out.
All right, see ya.
fun.